It takes what you eat 28 days to show up as lovely glowing skin. 4 to 8 weeks to notice any real changes in your weight. And sometimes even longer to feel the full benefits of lifestyle change. But what if I told you that there are 9 things that you can do right now to instantly look and feel more attractive? And yes, they're backed by science. Because the truth is, you don't need to wait for a number on the scales or a certain dress size or some future version of yourself to look and feel amazing. Now, if we haven't met before, I'm Maria and I'm a registered dietitian. And I work with women every single day who just want to feel good in their bodies again. And let me tell you, I hear about this all of the time. Maria, I will book that holiday when I lose those 10 pounds. Or I'll join the gym as soon as I feel more comfortable in leggings again. Or I'll start dating when I finally sorted my eating out. But the thing is that so many of us are putting our lives on hold, waiting until we feel attractive enough or ready enough to actually start living. And look, I get it, because how we look can definitely impact how we feel. But today I want to flip that on its head by sharing 9 things that you can do instantly to feel more attractive, without changing your weight, without having surgery or doing anything crazy to your face. And you don't have to do all of them, but I guarantee that at least one will shift something in you today. Now, I want to start with a simple question. What actually is attraction? Because it might sound obvious, but when you dive deep into the research, it really comes down to one core thing: cues of good health and good genes. For example, studies show that men are often drawn to women with lovely, long, shiny hair. And not because it looks nice, but because subconsciously it's associated with youth and fertility. There is even research, and this is fascinating, that women are perceived as more attractive when they are ovulating, without changing anything to their appearance. They probably don't even know it. And this is simply biology doing its thing. So yes, attraction is deeply wired within us. And here is the truth, which ironically is not very pretty. Looks matter. They affect how people treat us, how we're perceived at work, in dating, and how even strangers, how they respond to us. And it's something called the halo effect. When somebody looks good, we automatically assume that they are kind, generous, smart, even if we know nothing about them. And whether we like to admit it or not, we are all wired to do this. But attraction is not purely genetics. Sure, some of it is, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But a lot of it is in your control, and that is the good news. So even if you are not where you want to be in terms of your body right now, or in terms of your physical health, I want you to remember that health is not just physical. Looking healthy, acting healthy, being healthy. It's also mental, emotional, and even spiritual. And it's all of these things combined that truly makes somebody magnetic. And of course, what this looks like will be a little bit different for everybody. We have all been dealt different cards in life. And that is okay. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about realizing what you have control over and empowering yourself so you can show up as the most vibrant, confident, and present version of yourself and enjoy the one life that you've been given to the best of your abilities. So let's start on the outside, those little physical shifts that can make a big difference in both how you look and how you carry yourself. So habit number 1 is all about using psychology to your advantage. Specifically, a concept known as Enclothed cognition. And basically, this means that what you wear can influence how you feel and how you perform. So yes, we're talking about dressing for success, but in a much more deeper science-backed way. Because there is this one famous study where people who were dressed wearing a long white coat, who believed the coat belonged to a doctor, performed much better in a mathematical task. In comparison, people wearing the exact same coat, but they believed the coat belonged to a painter, didn't perform as well. And another group, not wearing any coat at all, didn't perform better either. The takeaway here is what we believe about our clothing. It can change how we feel and how we behave. If you go to a work interview and you're dressed in a killer suit and you feel confident, you are going to do much better in that interview in comparison to if you just strolled up in a really not put together outfit. And let me explain with one of my own practical examples. Most days when I wake up in the morning, I put on gym gear because I go to the gym. Then I go to work, and in a hospital, I'm typically wearing scrubs, not very glamorous. Then I come home in the evenings, and again, I usually just put on comfy clothes or more gym gear, even though I'm not going to do another workout. And then at the weekends, if I'm just cleaning up around the place or running errands, I'll just wear something really comfortable again, because my practical brain is like, I don't want it to get dirty if I'm just cleaning the house. But the truth is that if I don't look put together, I don't feel put together either. And we'll often tell ourselves that we're too busy or it's just not practical to put on a nice outfit. But the science really does show us that what you wear matters. Now, you absolutely do not need to be very dressed up. Comfort, for me anyways, is still always going to be key, especially when I'm just at home. But sometimes putting in just 5% more effort can make a really big difference. And I'm a practical person, so just telling you to get dressed, it's not a super helpful first tip for this video. So here are something that has actually really helped me do this. I decluttered my wardrobe. I read this book called Project 333. You don't need to read the book. But it's all about stripping things back to a more minimalist wardrobe. Now, it's not complete minimalism. We don't have to throw out all our clothes here. But this whole concept changed things for me because I used to feel so overwhelmed every time I went to go and open my wardrobe. I seemed to have loads of clothes but nothing to wear. I'm sure most females can relate to this. But when I narrowed my wardrobe down to just pieces that I really loved and started to wear more regularly, everything became a lot easier. I knew what top went with what bottoms and what looked good with each individual item. And I placed a lot more value on each item that I had. And I started creating these go-to outfits or uniforms. So I always knew that there was something I could rely on, whether that was an outfit to grab if I was going meeting a friend for a coffee, or the outfit that I would grab if I was going to a barbecue, or the outfit that I would grab if I just wanted to look a little bit more polished. Now, I still love clothes. I'm by no means anti-shopping, but I've really stopped chasing every trend on Instagram and started dressing for me. And I truly think I look better now than when I had twice the amount of stuff in my wardrobe. So you don't need to throw everything out, but you might want to just stop and look and see, is that clutter stopping you from getting dressed in the morning? It's kind of like healthy eating in a way. When you have too many options and no plan, it just leads to decision fatigue. Same thing with your clothes. And one final point is to wear clothes that fit you now. Not too small and not too big. Just right for where you're at today. But when you look like you've made an effort, you feel like you've made an effort, and that carries through into every aspect of your day. Now, smell is one of the most underrated parts of attraction, and there's scientific evidence to back this up. There was a really cool study where researchers got a group of people and they got them to look at pictures of other people. And whilst they were looking at the pictures, they had to then smell different smells, some pleasant and some not so pleasant. But it was the exact same picture of the people that they were looking at. And what they found was when paired with a pleasant, nice smell, the exact same face that they were looking at was rated as being more attractive, rather than when it was compared with a neutral or an unpleasant one. So the person's appearance did not change at all, but people perceived them differently just from what they were smelling at that time. So smell literally alters how attractive someone seems, even when nothing else changes. So this is a really small thing that you can do that can have an impact straight away. Now, the next habit is just keeping your grooming simple and consistent. My skincare and makeup routine takes me literally 10 minutes in the morning. And because it is this simple, I can do it every single day. Again, like trying to eat healthy or start any healthy habit. The simpler that you make it, the easier it will be to sustain it long term. And again, there is psychology behind this. People rate others as more attractive when they appear healthy and clean. And I truly believe that you can have the trendiest outfit in the world. You can be dressed head to toe in designer items. But if your hair is all greasy and your mascara is smudged and you just look disheveled, it really doesn't matter. If you don't show up like you take yourself seriously, how is anybody else going to take you seriously either? So again, it doesn't need to be loads of makeup. In fact, loads of makeup tends to have the opposite impact. And when I was younger, I used to love makeup and I used to spend ages in the morning doing my makeup. And then because my makeup routine was so elaborate, then there was days where I just did absolutely nothing. Whereas now it's just simple and I can do it every single day. And you look more natural, which typically is better. Now, the next habit is to prioritize your posture. And the more you do this over time, the more having good posture becomes the norm for you. You will instantly appear taller, slimmer, and your clothes will hang better. Because slouching completely alters the perception you give off to somebody, and not in a good way. Good posture can make you look more confident, but it will also make you feel more confident. And the best thing is you don't need to do anything extreme. Just sit up straight and roll your shoulders back slightly. Lift your chin and open your chest. You want to stand and walk like you believe you belong in the room, and then everyone else will believe it too. So the next time you walk into a room of people, or the next time you just walk past a mirror, check in with your posture. It's free, it's instant, and it's really incredibly powerful. One of the easiest ways to dial up your attractiveness, and it will only take a second. Right, so now we have tackled the outer layer, but true attractiveness runs so much deeper than just appearance. And this is my favorite part. So let's talk about what's going on within. Now, I'm going to pause here and ask that if you are enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you hit the red subscribe button below. It really helps support my channel and means a lot. Now, I honestly think this is one of the most important habits of them all, and it's having a good attitude. Because the truth is that a good attitude looks good on everyone. And a bad one can make even the most physically attractive person in the world look awful. Because negativity is draining. And I'm not talking about just having an off day. We all have those. And I'm definitely not talking about anybody who's dealing with anxiety or depression. I'm talking about the kind of chronic negativity that shows up as constantly complaining. You're constantly gossiping about other people or showing up with a victim mentality. That energy sticks and people can feel it even when you're not saying a word. Because your vibe and the energy that you give off often speaks much louder than the words you speak. People can pick up on your energy in how you walk and how you carry yourself, your facial expressions and how you respond to small things. And when you have a genuine joy for life, when you're just at ease in yourself, people really do notice. It's magnetic. And on the flip side, we've all met people who walk around dark and moody all of the time, like the whole world is against them. And look, we never know what somebody else is going through. But being real, when I'm like that, even I don't want to be around myself. So it's not about being bubbly or fake chatty or fake positive. It's just about being open, present and kind, or approachable in one word. If you've ever had somebody say, in fact, this is something me and my fiance say a lot about people sometimes, is, you know, they just look like a really nice person. That is one of the biggest compliments you can ever get. It's not like, oh, she has a lovely figure. Oh, he has great hair. It's, oh, they look like a really nice person. That's so much more powerful than anything else. Because a good attitude is never, ever, ever going to go out of style. Now, confidence is one of the most magnetic things a person can have. We're all drawn to people who are a little bit more confident. But what most people don't know is confidence is not something that you are born with. It's something that you build. There's even a name for this, and it's called the momentum effect. And there was a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology. And they found that confidence grows through action. In other words, you don't wait to feel confident before you do the thing. You do the thing, and that is how confidence builds. And this comes up with my clients all of the time. They say, Maria, I'll join that class once I feel more confident. Or I'll start going on first dates again once I feel a bit better myself. But the truth is that confidence comes from doing the thing that you're avoiding. It's like a muscle. Take me in YouTube, for example. People now tell me that, oh, you look very confident on camera. Go back and watch my first ever video. I literally look like a deer in headlights, and I'm a little bit better, but I'm not there yet. But how I've improved over time is just continuing to show up every week, making another video. If I just waited until I became camera confident, I would never, ever have started a YouTube channel. So the same thing goes for social situations. If you're not confident meeting new people, getting in the repetitions is something that will really help. And the more reps you get in, the more confident you will start to feel. And trust me, then people will really start to feel that shift in your energy. Now, this is also really important, and it's that mannerisms matter, because how you treat other people says it all. I had a lot of part-time jobs growing up. I was a waitress, I was a shop assistant. And what I really learned from all of it is that there is nothing more unattractive than rude people. Like if you've ever been on a first date and the person you're with is extremely rude and nasty to the waiter, it is just a complete turn off instantly. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I live in Bermuda now, and one thing that I really love about the culture here is that everybody, no matter whether they're a complete stranger or not, everybody says either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to every single person that they meet. If I walk into a lift and I don't know the person, I say good morning. If I'm out for a walk and somebody I don't know was crossing my path, I'll say good evening. Now, okay, it's not practical and not done in a busy street with loads of people, but if you come across another human being, you acknowledge that you've just come across another human being. And it's not like this in many places in the world. But I think it says a lot to just acknowledge another human being's basic existence, even if it's just with a nod. And then there's the basics like please, thank you, you're welcome. These are things that I feel like we all were told we were meant to do as children, but in today's world with people always being on their phones and everybody being kind of busy, it seems to be more acceptable for people to not do these things, which really isn't right. Because these little moments of courtesy still matter a lot. And attractiveness really isn't just about how you look, it's about that energy that you give off and how you make other people feel. And how you treat the people around you speaks volumes about the kind of person that you are too. It's like if I ever, to be fair, I don't really get that many, but if somebody left a not very nice comment on one of my videos, they're obviously not feeling very well in themselves and they don't have a good energy. And And I can feel that all the way from the other side of the screen. Now, humor is another huge thing when we talk about attractiveness. But contrary to what you might think, it's not about being the funniest person in the room or about cracking one-liners constantly. So if you don't think you are funny, that is fine. But what humor also is being somebody that's not too easily offended. Somebody who can take a joke, maybe or maybe not throw one back. But if you can laugh at yourself, if you can not take yourself too seriously all of the time, people notice that. And they gravitate towards that energy because it's comfortable. And let's be honest, we are all drawn to people who make us feel relaxed. People who we feel like we can be ourselves around. And humor really is a huge part of that. Now, you don't have to be a stand-up comedian, but it's a really underrated way to instantly become more attractive. So don't underestimate the power of a little bit of crack, the Irish crack. And now the part that so many of us skip over. The inside job that keeps us looking and feeling attractive long after whatever the mirror says matters. And this is all about curating your inputs. And we don't talk about this enough. But what we consume every single day, your inputs, these can literally rewire your brain. And it's not just a nice idea, it's backed by neuroplasticity research. Your brain is constantly adapting to what you feed it. So if your social media, your podcast list, or even the people that you talk to regularly are not leaving you feeling good, that is going to shape your self-image and not in a positive way. And the thing is that this happens very subtly. You don't even realize it until you're suddenly stuck in this comparison mode and you're spiraling over everybody else's perfect morning routine or perfect what their weekends look like. So this is your reminder to unfollow anybody that makes you feel like you're behind. And make this a regular habit, just like you might clean out your wardrobe every month. Because this is something you really do need to stay on top of. So if anybody's content is making you feel any bit less than, it is okay to unfollow, mute, or delete. Instead, you want to fill your plate, fill your feed, fill your surroundings with people that lift you up, people who educate you, people who inspire you, and just actually make you feel better in your own skin. Because one of the easiest ways to become more attractive for others, but most importantly for yourself, is to treat your mental space like prime real estate. You need to be choosy about who gets access. This will all in turn change how you show up in the world. So attractiveness is not about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself with a bit of intention, with energy and with kindness. To others, yes, but also to yourself. Now, if you liked this style of video, let me know in the comments below so I know to do more of them. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more practical science-based tips. And as a thank you for getting all the way to the end of the video, I want to let you know about a free recipe ebook, which I will leave linked in the description box below. I'd also recommend following me over on Instagram, where I share lots of recipe ideas, tips and tricks to help you live your best life. And let me know in the comments below which of these habits you are going to implement first. And I'm going to leave a video on the screen here which YouTube thinks you would like to watch next. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.